Hello and welcome to So You Think You Can Fanon, the only podcast sponsored by nothing. The only one. Every podcast ever is sponsored.
Well, technically,
all of them.
Technically, we are sponsored through Anchor.
Shit.
Yeah, sorry, man. We are technically sponsored.
We can't redo this. Fuck.
They're gonna know because there might be a break. Depends.
It's okay. Let's just pretend it never happened.
Okay.
Hello and welcome to So You Think You Can Fanon, the only podcast that's sponsored by Anchor.
We are not the only podcast.
Fuck! Damn it. This is really hard, okay?
I understand. It's alright.
Let's just keep going.
Okay. Alright, welcome to So You Think You Can Fanon, where we get the bottom of the barrel of fan fictions and other fan works and bring it right to you at your front door, put it nicely in a nice little bow. Although we really can't do that, we have to be essential employees now. So, you can find us on Twitter. Sergio goes through Roxas the Hunter, Jake goes through High Def Hotcakes, and I go through Equinox Doodles. And today, this time, it is Sergio's turn to present us a new fan fiction to indulge in.
Yes. And of course, I hope everyone is enjoying their self quarantine in these dangerous times.
Yeah. Not to mention that when this episode is recorded, the following day will be the first episode's release.
Yes. However, I'm pretty sure that the pandemic will still be in full swing by the time people see this episode. So we're still topical.
Yeah.
According to reports, from what I've heard through the grapevine, since my parent works through the medical field, they are extending until May 1st.
Ooh.
The quarantine, at the least.
Well, looks like that Colossal Con will probably not happen.
Ooh.
That's sad. Let's hope for
Yuma. We're going anyways if it's still on.
Yeah.
We're
going anyways, just to go to, even if it means we're just going to Great Wolf Lodge. We're going.
I don't know about that though. I've been hearing through the grapevine that there are that if you leave the house during a lockdown, you're gonna get a huge ticket unless you're going to work.
This as far as I know, the stay-at-home order, at least in Michigan, is only for like the next 2 weeks.
Okay. Well, then we will just hope and pray. So, yeah.
That all being said, today I have a fanfiction that I've
You've been wanting to read.
yes, a fanfiction that I've been wanting to read for a couple of years now. I first learned of it at a Youmacon.
Was it the first year you did the panel?
16. No. This was my first Youmacon.
Okay.
JelloApocalypse was at Youmacon. It was their last time going to Youmacon. So I've been every year since then.
Ain't he a poop guy?
Ain't he what?
What?
No, never mind. Continue.
Okay.
Okay. So at JelloApocalypse's panel, they did fan fiction panels. I guess they inspired me to make our panel.
Oh.
And they dropped the name of a couple legendary fan fictions I ended up finding. But one of them was written by one of their, well, I don't know if plasterbrain is a member of JelloApocalypse or she just simply was on the panel. But anyways, plasterbrain wrote a fan fiction in conjunction with JelloApocalypse called Sweaty Angle.
Sweaty Angle?
Sweaty Angle is a Smash Brothers self-insert fanfic. It is a self-insert, so you could insert yourself and pair up with your favorite Smash characters. Which Smash characters? Oh, all of them. This is a 62 chapter fanfiction. Each chapter is pretty small. Maybe 500 words each. And each one is a different pairing. It's a harem fanfiction where you hit up the whole roster, and then you end with an 8-player Smash.
Okay, so this is like Wii U Smash Brothers?
Yeah, Yeah, it's Smash 4.
Okay. I was kind of hoping it's been updated since then, so that way I could finally have a deep, intimate relationship with Terry Bogard.
Yeah, unfortunately, no. You're gonna have to stick with the Smash 4 cat, and you will be taking the role of nickname because you got to be able to put yourself into this. So,
But what if? All right, but do they have the DLC characters, or is it just like base roster?
They have. They don't have the DLC characters.
Ah, sad. Now I can't even go after barefoot anime waifu. This is so sad.
All right, so I will
take it down a notch, buddy.
Why? This
There's
is
no barefoot anime waifus in my Christian.
sad. So, all right, I guess throw it into the church of outer heaven.
Yeah. So here is a sweaty angle. We will need someone to portray the hero nickname. I guess I can be nickname. We'll need to be a narrator, and we'll need to be see who's in this first chapter. We've got Pac-Man and Shulk.
Pac-Man and Shulk.
I guess one of us can be nickname, one of us can be the Smash waifu.
Too.
Can
and
I
then
be?
one person can be a narrator.
Can I not be a narrator this time around?
Can Serge, why don't you be the narrator?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be the narrator. Jake, would you like to be nickname?
Sure.
All right.
And Michael, will you take the multiple roles as our many waifus / husbandos?
Of course, more than
You better
anything.
I see Luigi going, oh wow. I hope you do that really good justice.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. I'll try.
Shall we begin?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. It was another dreary 9 to 5 at Smash Bros. Limited, but nicknames enthusiasm burnt brightly as ever. She was on her lunch hour, which she took at the same time every day, so she could get a glimpse of her hot Smash crush, Pac-Man. He was the new boy in town, a blonde spear with a smooth attitude, the fight skills a match. Yep, Pac was her kind of guy.
Dude,
Oh
myths,
boy.
oh my god, those myths get me going.
Dude, I have never heard somebody describe Pac-Man as a blonde sphere with a smooth attitude.
Dude, he's got some serious myths, bro.
I know he does, but like, I've never heard somebody call Pac-Man blonde.
He's got those groping hands.
I will say though, I wish it did he/she, so you could truly put yourself in this. But I guess nickname is going to be female. Oh boy, it was Raw Egg Day. Raw Egg Day was Name's favorite day. It was the day they served raw eggs. Raw eggs were like a party ball. You always knew you'd find a zygote inside. What kind of zygote? The suspense was unbearable. The lunch lady, an old Koopa with a scraggly tooth and librarian glasses, scooped down an egg out of the bin with a ladle and slapped it on her tray with such finesse that the otherwise non-liquid object made a luscious slop. Name turned and studied the cafeteria.
There are so
Pac-Man.
many words in that sentence that could be on word of the day.
Oh, dude, I really want some of that luscious schlop.
I don't know if it should be like schlop or finesse or luscious.
I want to finesse some schlop if you get what I mean.
I think finesse should be the word of the day. What do you think?
What are we doing?
All right. Finesse as our word of the day.
I didn't know we had a word of the day.
Well, we do now.
Now.
Okay.
All right. Pac-Man was sitting across from Shulk, with enough fruit between them to fill several still lifes. He tossed the Monado boy an orange, and Shulk scraped off the rind with a tiny Xenoblade-style paring knife. Pac-Man saw Name watching and smiled. Or was he just opening his face? It was hard to tell, but Name liked to think it was a smile. She blushed to herself. Today would be the day she'd finally talk to him.
Hi, Pac-Man.
Name said demurely, gently sitting her things down on the table. Pac-Man made one of his usual unintelligible sounds.
Maybe it's Name. Do we know?
I don't know.
I mean, if we want to get real weeb.
They said during the panel it was nickname, so...
Okay.
The doors of the lunchroom slammed open, and it flew a trio of cartoonish ghosts, Luigi scrambling in their wake.
Oh, wow. Everybody take a cover.
He cried, wrangling in his vacuum.
The prophecy has been set into motion. The end is nigh. I'm really peeling it.
Shulk announced to the orange. Pac-Man opened his mouth in alarm, or was he smiling as the ghosts flew around the room, one making a distinct beeline for their table?
Oh no.
Cried Nick David in horror. She sprang forward to shield her love with her strong arms, but it was too late. The ghost cannonballed into the fat yellow target that was
Holy
Pac-Man,
shit.
sending him spinning on the spot with a cry of anguish until he folded into nothingness.
Dude, have you... This went from like a love fanfiction to just... just...
Holy shit, he's dead.
I can't believe
What?
they killed Pac-Man. Oh my god.
Oh my god, Pac-Man.
This is
Were you
so
going
sad.
for the second chapter?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. That was only, what, 2 words?
Ah, dude.
Alright, this chapter is Second Banana, the Reader X Luigi chapter.
Oh, dude.
Nick collapsed to the linoleum form in a heap. She was in shock, not from fear of ghosts, but from the death of her 2-day love interest. She knew he would soon respawn on a floating platform in the break room of the building sans one stock that would be quickly replaced in the flag storage room. But just wasn't the same. The man she had loved was gone. All that remained was a ghost of him, also literal ghost. The spooks flew around the room, grabbing Pac-Man's posthumous lunch and throwing it at the other patrons. A few Smash veterans grabbed their weapons and took aim at the ghost, their attacks futilely passing through like an allied yet hated Nintendog assist trophy. Ike, sitting on his daily throne of uncooked steaks that he somehow procured through illicit Wario dealings, would have nothing of this food fight debauchery in his road room and countered Shulk's orange, which a ghost had thrown his way. Speaking of Shulk, he too was mourning Nick's spiritual love next to her. Either that or he was ducking on his knees under the table to hide from the ghost.
I'm really nailing it!
Shulk announced the linoleum. He was pretty cute, cowering like that. He was blonde too, just like Pac-Man sort of. But just wasn't the same. What could possibly fill the vacuum in Nick's heart now?
Brrr.
Hummed Luigi's vacuum. From across the room, a great turbulence began sucking up the ghosts one by one. Ploink, ploink, ploink. It seemed that Luigi acquired a smash ball in the 15 seconds of Pac-Man's death and stuffed it into his poltergust.
Why does
Smash balls were a pretty
Luigi's,
rare commodity since the economic downturn. You
Why
were
does
surprised Luigi
Luigi's
was selfish
vacuum-
enough to waste one here to save his
Why
comrades.
does Luigi's vacuum have its own, like, quotation?
I don't know.
Own character.
He's his own character, dude. The Poltergust is like, it's like Flood. It has its own personality. It's it's a masterpiece.
You were surprised that Luigi was selfish enough to waste your to I said that. His Uncle Brown mustache blew majestically in the vortex he commanded. Nick noticed a twinkle in his eye that she never noticed before, something beneath the cowardice, something hidden, something she'd yet to discover. As quickly as Pac-Man had faded away, so was her lust for him replaced by desire for the overall sporting Italian stereotype with a nose the size of her fist. He probably had some other good qualities too, but she couldn't think about that right now. At the moment, Nick Name wanted nothing more to jump into Luigi's arms. She leapt up onto the fruit-laden table and took a running jump into the vortex. Hold on! Oh, sorry.
Hold on, Luigi.
She shouted triumphantly, long jumping into the nozzle. The suction took with it a banana that lodged itself into the poltergust, causing it to backfire. The vacuum exploded, taking Luigi with it. The ghost
Luigi,
flew off.
no.
Okay.
Said DK, mourning his lost banana.
That, like, it's, I don't know if that's like ook, like gorilla noise, or if that's like okay.
I always thought it was okay, but he's like really sad, so it's like okay.
Like this DK64 intro. Or
Yeah, I know.
okay.
I think he's just a sad okay.
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 How many chapters should we read?
I feel like we could read a few.
We can do a couple.
Yeah, that was. Alright, so chapter 3, The Frog Prince. Reader X Greninja. If anyone was her rock through Nickname's grief, it was the cool Greninja who would often loom on the lofts of the premises, watching over the lives of his fellow brawlers with quiet disdain and aloof
Oh, Greninja.
side name, joining him atop one of the balconies and reflecting on the afternoon's violent proceedings. How dreadfully she had mourned for the loss of the green plumber and the other one, until she heard Greninja was around, how really she had always pined for him in a way. Maybe the amphibia returned her feelings. After all, her mother had always said she was pretty. It'd be an unusual marriage, but one their undying love could hopefully burden. Greninja inflated like a cheese bubble as his breath slipped quietly in and out. He nodded sagely, not having been present during the episode, but would always link in the elaborate news network established as part of Wario's illicit deal. Pale pink scarf was actually his tongue wound around to appear as a scarf, a genetic disorder, they said. Ungentle, making her unbothered. Garments made of frog appendages always did. She imagined that enormous tongue the size of a small child in her mouth, and plus the glowing red. Perhaps nickname used to kiss the Pokemon Mew's true form as a handsome samurai, and whisk her off to a romantic temple somewhere for her fearless display of unbridled passion. Yes, Pac-Man Luigi's untimely death had been the fumbling act of destiny. Her true fate was to be wed with the lissom frog. When are we? When's fucking? Is Greninja a secret Shinkenger?
Yeah, dude. I wouldn't be surprised if like Greninja was actually like a secret Power Ranger. You know, like if he was a Ranger in general. Like that's what I'm thinking. It's a possibility.
the same frog, Shinken Greninja. Alright.
Greninja.
Name repeated. Wait, hold on. Yeah, name repeated, meeting his eyes shyly. They sprouted from opposite eyes of his triangle head and bulged out accordingly, not swiveling to look at her, but gleaning her appearance from the periphery of each. Separate views offered. Crow T, the synergy between them bounced back and forth like a hot, wet sock. May puckered her lips and leaned towards him, closing her eyes. The moment felt just right. The night lit by a tapestry of stars. Greninja was alarmed. He shot out his tongue in surprise, decking her in the face. It was as delightful as a jack-in-the-box filled with human ears. Name was covered in saliva.
That wasn't romantic at all.
She cried, but it was too late, for the enormous hives had erupted all over where the kiss had landed. Oh no, how had she forgotten? Her mother had said she was pretty. She said, "You're pretty allergic to frogs." And maybe also she was pretty, but that was secondary. Name sprinted inside out of embarrassment and the need for the ER. This is so good. Like, unironically, this is really good.
Oh god. Oh, it's gonna get worse.
I think we should skip forward a little bit to something else.
Yeah, I don't want to read Reader X Pikachu.
What? Who would you like to read?
I think we should go to Little Mac and then maybe like and then definitely Ganondorf.
We'll skip ahead a little bit. A real knockout. Chapter 5. Reader X Little Mac. Name licked her wounds and left the infirmary to try inserting the pill. Oh, God damn it, I hate the pill.
I hate the
Oh, barnacles! I hate the pill!
I hate the pill.
In the privacy of her dorm, she headed to the second floor, making sure to avoid the weight rooms and swimming pool, which were popular spots to socialize at this hour. Choosing the halls of the company's lesser-used facilities, like the dark room and the ball pit. She passed by the computer lab, a seldom visited locale, since many of the smashers did not know how to use a computer. A husky voice caught her ear as Name walked by, reading something aloud. Her breasts heaved against the confines of her corset. "Oh, little Mac," she cried. "You're such a hunk. Take me now." He was a hunk. "Okay," he said hunkily, and he took her now.
I too like to describe men as hunkily.
I love that. It's so meta. It's a bad fan fiction inside of a fan fiction that's attempting to be bad.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, she would regret Name poked her head into the computer room. Little Mac was slapping away at a keyboard, his boxing gloves, a bead of sweat glistening on his brow. "I didn't know you were a writer." Oh, sorry, I should have had you say that.
I didn't know you were a writer.
Name said innocently.
I love writing fan fiction too.
Oh, sorry, it's my turn. Name!
Shouted Mac, nearly tipping back in his chair.
Jesus, you scared the crap out of me. What are you, huh? What are you doing here? What the heck happened to you?
He recovered and tried to nonchalantly lean backwards against the computer screen with a nervous laugh.
Well, I was on my way to go put fill up my butt for my allergic reaction. Then I heard you reading. It sounded pretty saucy. Can I see it?
He crossed his legs at the ankle and wobbled a little bit in his awkward pose.
See what?
Your story.
Said name, wobbling
Sorry, I
towards
ran
him.
ahead
He
a little
weaved.
bit, my brain shut off.
He weaved back and forth to cover the screen. She got close to the title. A real knockout. Nickname X Little Mac.
This is the most meta shit. I can explain.
He squealed. But he couldn't explain because she kissed him before he could find the words. The self-insert starring her. This was a dream come true.
Oh, little man.
Name said going scarlet.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
Would you insert my suppository?
Name.
Little Mac blushed and fumbled with the gigantic pill in his gloves while Name tittered, throwing down her pantaloons and bending over a cat.
You sure?
He asked,
I don't know how to really do this.
but he sure likes butts.
Hold on.
I'm ready. Just be gentle.
Okay.
Little Mac went to insert the pill in an uppercut and inadvertently delivered a knockout punch that sent Name flying through the ceiling. He gave her the Omega.
Alright, you said you wanted to do Ganondorf as well?
Ganondorf.
Behind a great man.
Alright, behind a great man.
my
Get ahead of it. The last thing she wanted was to stick around in a room with Little Mac, Pitu, and that bitch Wee Foo. Name dumped the questionable steak she had pilfered on a nearby table and ducked out of the cafeteria before things got any worse, letting her feet take her wherever. They landed her at the entryway of the library, a cozy little hideaway. It was something for everyone. Marth was over in the boring section, unofficial name, reading a nonfiction and military strategy, while Peach and Rosalina gushed over their romance novels, and Lucina poured over classic literature. There was also an old rocking chair by the fireplace with a carpet where Ganondorf read nursery rhymes aloud to a bored-looking Toon Link and Lemmy Koopa, who appeared as though he'd never been told anything so thrilling in his life.
This little piggy had roast beef.
Ganon was saying, Ness stared at him like a 13-year-old being told the daily routines of anthropomorphic pigs. Seems like a good way to unwind as any. Name plopped herself down seductively on the carpet behind the kids. It was important to multitask, Name knew. Someone could be scouting for a girlfriend this very second, and she had to be at the ready.
Now, I know just the perfect man who would be right down to be with her. A man, a legend, the Chad, no.
Christian Weston Chandler.
I would think that username would be down for nickname.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That's true.
And this little piggy took over Hyrule and everyone became his slave.
Ganon read, pointing to a page that had been inserted with sloppy colored pencil illustrations of people on fire.
You suck!
Said Toon Link. Ganondorf lobbed the book out of his fit of rage.
Fine, but one day I'll be a famous author, and you'll all be sorry.
He growled and stormed off, Name quickly standing up to follow. He threw himself down in the Marth, who looked annoyed at the unexpected company, and began to complain. Can a man be
Can a man be appreciated for his efforts?
Said Ganon. Name appeared in the third seat.
I agree with whatever you just. Sorry, I can't. This is. I can't comprehend this. Everything about this.
Look.
Just the story.
Mm-hmm.
The seductively sitting behind the children.
I don't know. I do not want to finish that. I was gonna.
Yeah. Please don't.
Yeah. I don't know anyone who would seductively sit behind children's that wasn't like questionable.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
I agree with whatever you just said.
Said Name. Lucina arrived in the fort, not liking the idea of other women around Marth.
Me too.
she cried. Marth slammed his book on the table in exasperation. Name studied the Demon King from across the table. He had eyes like two Unicode bullet points, a line she'd have to remember to share with extra pit later. Above them were two handsome traffic cone eyebrows which went straight into his cornrow. Nope, Name just couldn't find one good trait about him. Might as well just throw this one away. Are your
pants from space?
She botched.
Because it hurt when you fell down from heaven in my mind all day.
Gannon blinked at her, one eye at a time. Marth just got up and left.
I have one request before we review this amazing fanon. I desire that we read the 8-man smash.
Oh, the finale 8-man smash.
Yeah,
I think it is.
We have to read the 8-man smash.
Okay,
Oh, this is a long one. This one's a long one.
What's chapter is it?
55.
It's finale. Finale is a longer one.
Yeah. Are you sure?
yeah.
You know what? Maybe we leave that for the readers. How about instead we go to our
Ooh, they have Ryu. They did get some of the DLC.
Oh, they did? Oh yeah, they have Ryu and Roy.
I couldn't remember if Ryu was in it to begin with.
Ryu was DLC.
Yeah, he was DLC.
Shall we watch the Ryu one?
Sure,
let's go with Ryu.
All right, we're jumping way ahead
that
into the
one's
story.
also pretty long.
Yeah, this one's also pretty long. Oh my god.
I guess they got longer as it went on.
How about Reader X Reader?
Where's that one?
It's chapter 26.
Chapter 27.
This one's a long one, but I think it's good because it's gonna get meta as fuck.
Called Name of the Game. All right, skipping ahead slightly a bit. It's like 20 chapters. There was no time to waste. The last round of the tournament was going to start any minute now. She dashed into the elevator and forward smashed the button. Side B. Doc's clinic was pretty high up, so it took a few minutes. Name folded the No Means No for Girls pamphlet into a paper airplane, tossed it haphazardly out the window into the building's courtyard to kill some time before the elevator doors dinged open. Inside was the elevator operator Sandbag, staring at her politely with his plastic eyeballs under his bell top hat. No time to explain, Sandbag.
No, that's
a video game.
No,
sorry.
Yeah, it's Jake's turn.
Make sure you throw in the trademark. We don't need to be copyright claimed by no time to explain.
Yeah.
No time to explain. Sandbag, trademark. I've got to get to the ground floor.
He didn't press any buttons, only staring at her as if to say, you don't need... sorry.
You don't need to explain. This is an elevator. That's what elevators do.
I don't need any of your sass, Sandbag.
As the name off, he responded by not responding in a way that seemed to say...
Also, you have plenty of time to explain on the ride down. It's a slow trip.
His head shifted condescendingly to the side, or maybe his stand just shifted, but Abe was in no mood.
This is too slow.
She flailed, exiting the elevator as the door automatically closed behind her. Sandbag hadn't even pressed any buttons. What a layabout. She opened one of the glass windows and leapt out, trying to use her recovery right before she hit the ground to cancel out all momentum. As she slid down the glass window, it struck her that mistiming this would land her right back in Doc's office again. She was pretty close to the daily prescription cutoff point, a new restriction due to the turn-up incident. I guess we skipped over that. Moments later, Name pierced the treetops like a bullet that nearly crashed into the ground below. She was saved by her recovery, a small raft of floating hearts that carried her up a ways. She floated toward the front of the greenhouse. It was nice to be able to fly, but Name didn't use that power. Gotta keep those gams in shape for the fellas. She exited the garden and reached the stage. The captain was Falcon.
Falcon addressing, dude.
Oh, sorry. The captain was Falcon addressing. It was Falcon addressing the crowd.
Well, Falcon people, if our Falcon contestants don't show up, I'm afraid we won't have much of a match here. What a disappointment!
The villager off the side spotted Name coming out of the brush, and an exclamation mark exploded from his head. A cardboard box in the audience shuffled nervously.
Well, looks like Name's back. Let's give her a hand.
A series of muted claps farted out of the music cloud. Name smiled. She was pretty popular.
In case you forgot, you've been Falcon disqualified!
The captain struck the pose.
Falcon disqualified? What for?
For Falcon,
Cried innocently.
for Falcon rigging the game. We've been over this. You're a regular Falcon artist, Miss Name. We're waiting for other contestants.
First of all,
This is Name struck a hand on her hip.
this is the first time I've heard about my disqualification for cheating. Also, I didn't cheat on purpose anyways.
Really?
The captain tipped his head, even his neck muscles stretched like they were lunging into a pose. Somewhere Rosalina was swooning.
But I just told you about it.
No you haven't. I've been up in Doc's clinic.
Name retorted.
There is something strange about this.
Mused Lucario. For whatever reason, that's exactly what I thought Lucario sounded like. Thank you, Michael. Very cool.
Yeah, no
Sitting
problem.
on the edge of the stage like he belonged there for some reason. Lucario pointed to his weird jackal fist towards a looser circle.
It appears there are 2 nicknames here.
A rush of gas from the crowd. How could this be? Nick turned her head to follow Lucario's finger. There, signature villager Ike and a swarm of others in the loose circle, a small area quarantined off by red velvet ropes strung between 2 rickety posts, and
No,
Rob,
guaranteed.
now enigmatically labeled Dugout, was another person who looked exactly like Nick. For about 10 seconds. Upon closer inspection, Nick realized it was actually Dark Pit, decked out in a creepily accurate name disguise. Even her ambiguous hair color and length was the same. Name stomped over and looked down at Pitu, who noticeably avoided eye contact.
What the hell are you doing?
She asked.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Phil responded a creaky falsetto that Name hoped to God was not his impression of her.
You sure are pretty, though. We should date, because I'm Nickname, and I have weird standards.
Also, falsetto, I think you mean. Mr. Michael?
Oh, sorry.
Falsetto?
I have to be in a falsetto.
You sure are pretty, though. We should date, because I'm Nickname, and I have weird standards.
Listen, Pitu,
She snarled.
you better have a damn good explanation for why you're wearing my clothes, Grab.
She gripped him by his scrawny neck.
Pitu? Who's that? I've never heard of such a person. He sure sounds deep and poetic, though. Maybe I should date him.
Name quaked in place, not sure how to hurt Pitu first.
Wow, I'm seeing Falcon double.
The captain cried over the PA. She didn't know which was worse, the fact that Armpit was pulling this stunt, or the fact that everyone was convinced he was her.
Well, I suppose the Falcon disqualification was placed on this name.
He puzzled, pointing at Pitu.
So it seems there's no reason that this new name can't play. Are you kidding me?
Ike erupted, standing from his spot on the loser's bench.
I am not! Unfortunately, her Falcon partner has also been disqualified. So, Name will have to play this round alone. Let the games begin! With our contestants arrive.
I like how her partner only got regular disqualified and not Falcon disqualified.
Yeah, he didn't get Falcon disqualified. I think he should be able to play. Okay, but
Ugh!
I think we read enough to be able to rate it.
Yeah, it's good. It's honestly good.
Now here's the question though: are we rating it on how close it got to being like a joke fic, or are we rating it on how?
Because it's 100% a joke fit.
Well,
but it's
no,
also
I mean-
a well-written joke fit.
No, I'm trying to think of like I know it's obviously a troll fic, but like, do we rate it on the fact that it tried to do it, or are we rating it on like the fact that it did, like that we're rating this on a joke fic?
I've been rating them based on like my enjoyment of them.
Okay, that's fair.
This one was definitely enjoyable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it skirts the fine line of like being a good piece of writing while
Yeah.
also not like going into the full meme hood of writing like a bad fan fiction.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like the slipping in there of the captain was Falcon because that's a good slip in there because you could read it as the captain was Falcon addressing the crowd because of the way the paragraph stops there.
Yeah. Would I give it a? Now here's the thing. I don't think I'm gonna give it a 10 because I think 10s are like a very rare scenario.
I think I'd give it a 9.5.
I'd give it a 9.
I feel like I would give it a 9 as well. Like, it's clear that it's a joke fic, but at the same time, like, we actually laughed at it and had a good time with it. Ah, man, I don't know what, like, because, like, there's so many chapters that I wouldn't recommend it as a read for somebody, because it's just like,
I mean, it's only a total of 50,000 words. That's a
I
short
mean,
book.
but still, I'm trying to think about, like, if I am reading this for the first time and I'm going through this for the first time, like, after, like, you read, like, the first few chapters, you kind of get the gist of, like, what the punchline is, like, every single time. And I feel like if it wasn't limited to just, like, a slash fic, I think it could have been a 10.
Yeah.
Also, like, all the chapters are kind of messed about because of where they did things. Like, the finale is, like, chapter 55. But, you know.
There's more after that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because it's a choose your own ending type of thing.
Yeah, I get that.
It's definitely fun. It's fun.
Yeah, it's a fun fan
And I think
fiction.
that's what matters.
Yeah. Oh, man. All right, so that came to an average rating, rounding up to 9.17. I'll probably round it just up to a 9.2. And we'll just call that a day for that rating.
Shout out to Plasterbrain for writing those. She did the odd chapters, and JelloApocalypse did the even chapters.
I thoroughly enjoyed what we were reading, though. It was good.
Pac-Man fucking died.
Yeah, no, Luigi died too. We had 2 deaths in the first 2 chapters.
Come back.
I don't know, dude. Monster Reborn isn't on the field.
No, because they send multiple stocks, so like they definitely
right.
survive.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I am. I'm trying to think here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with the 9 rating.
Yeah, me too.
I think it was good. I think that the joke has kind of started getting the same after a little bit, and we didn't read all the chapters.
So maybe there is more variation in it. Who knows?
Yeah.
But
I
it
mean,
was fun.
yeah. Now the question comes in, because this episode is the episode before our Fanon Fridays, which is every I believe it's every last Friday of months,
Yeah.
not including the first episode, but every Friday of the last month will be a Fanon Friday. I'm not sure if we've decided on what fandom we're going to touch on. And I have a question then. Would Sonichu count as a Fanon? Because, like,
It would count as a Fanon creation.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel that we should go for something a bit more unique, because that's been covered to death.
Oh, I know, but I'm just
Chris Chan is unironically the most documented human being on the face of this planet.
Yeah, it's really weird. But I was just curious because I wanted to know if any of you guys thought otherwise, because, like, it fits the role.
Yeah, I would count it if it's a fan creation. Then it.
That's fair. And I mean, we still have plenty of time to discuss. We still need to find something to discuss on. So I guess a good question would be, if you were put into the Smash roster, like ultimate roster, who would be your husbando or waifu that you'd go for, and why?
I think we should give an answer to both husbando and waifu.
Yeah, okay.
I can agree with that. I mean, I'll go first because I asked the question. I think for husbando, it's a split tie between Terry Bogard and Male Robin. But more so on the Terry. I mean, like,
is it because he's dad?
No, it's because he asked me if I'm okay before he slams me into another dimension.
Ooh.
Like, yeah. Yeah, I think that it's definitely a Terry thing for me, for husbando. he's got the muscles. He asked me if I'm okay, and then he tells me to stand out. Like, there's nothing better to say for that. As for waifu, you already heard me say that I would be so down with Korin. And
Corn in her toes.
sure,
Stop.
it's the whole. I have to get the whole package. It'd be weird to have like, it'd be.
You can't put shoes on corn.
I don't care.
Put the shoes on, it's a no deal. It's all or nothing.
It's the whole package, you know. Like, I like Korin purely aesthetically, like aesthetic wise, like dragons and lances and stuff. Like, that's cool. And she has a chainsaw sword, but like, nobody plays male Korin.
I do.
Nobody plays male Korin. So
I
like,
can boot up my fate
like,
save file where I'm playing as male.
no. Do you? No, not in Fire Emblem. In like Smash Brothers, nobody plays male Korin in Smash Brothers. Why would you when you can play the cuter one? Let's be real. I mean, I think I have a good deal going on. I have an anime swords waifu, and I have Terry. Like, there's not much I could say.
Terry's dad.
Terry is dad.
What are your picks, Sergio?
So for husbando, I would say Joker, being that he's the master of forming bonds with people. So I think we would have a strong bond.
Do you think that his main kink is bondage?
I think Joker's a very dominant person. I don't think he's into bondage though.
He has the whole like subconscious prisoner thing going on.
Maybe.
I mean,
his whole thing is always like breaking your chains and breaking free of the bondage of society. So maybe not.
Okay. But like outside of that strict bond, like what else allures you to Joker?
He's got a good sense of humor. He's a badass.
That's fair. That's fair.
Who doesn't like a man in glasses? Am I right, Lee?
Yeah. Next time you see me at a con, I'll probably be wearing my reading glasses that I don't wear because I think I don't need them.
And I'll be wearing a helmet, so you don't get to see my face.
I'll be wearing glasses because I need them to see.
Okay, and Sergio, waifu. Who's your Smash waifu?
I'm gonna have to say my space waifu Rosalina.
That's a fair deal. That's fair.
She seems like the kind of person who likes to listen.
Yeah.
I like those kind of people. I feel like I can come home and I can talk about like my day, and she won't like yell at me or anything like that. Just be like, oh, I'm having a bad day.
Right. That's
Make
fair.
me some cookies or something.
All right.
We're in her star children.
Yeah. Are you okay with her? Are you okay with being a dad then, Sergio?
Yes, to thousands of stars.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, that's a good deal. I mean, it's either he said Rosalina, and he said it's either her and the kids or nothing. I really miss her.
Sometimes I miss her. She said it's her and the kids are fishing. Sometimes when I cast my line, I still miss her.
Okay, then Jake, waifu and husbando.
Husbando? I'm thinking. Let me think. Probably Snake.
That's fair.
Maybe or Ken. Either one.
Why Ken though? I can see Snake, but why
I like
Ken?
I just like Ken. He's charming. He's nice. He's a gentleman.
He's got toes.
He's fun. He's got didn't even think about that one. All right, I'm gonna change my answer. No, he's charming. He always knows the right thing to say. He's got that thumbs up. Remember the Pichu leak?
Yeah, dude. He's got the thumbs up. That's how you know it's real.
Thumbs up with Inkling and Pichu.
And Ivysaur. Don't forget about Ivysaur.
And Ivysaur, yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay. Like, I understand Snake, so...
Yeah, because Snake, I'm a big Metal Gear fan. I like Snake.
Yeah, he makes me solid.
I didn't like when he was like an old man in 4.
Yeah.
Just because the mustache, I just couldn't do it.
Not the old man part, just the mustache.
Just the mustache, yeah. And also he was like dying, and that sucks.
Yeah, that does suck. Okay then, and waifu.
Zelda, I guess.
Yeah, she also got toes.
Why do you have to bring that up? Come on. Does she? She
Yeah.
wears shoes.
Yeah, she has like sandal boots,
Oh,
like
those don't count.
like heel boot
Those don't
sandals,
count.
but they show her toes.
Ah.
Hey everyone, it's Michael or Equinox Doodles, and I want to take this moment to thank you all for listening to our podcast. It really means a lot to us that you are taking the time out of your day, or maybe taking some time in your day, to listen to us ramble about bad fan fiction or some good fan works. If you haven't already, make sure that you are following us on social media. You can find us on Twitter and on Facebook at SYTYCFanon. That's SYTYCFanon. Make sure that you are following us there so that way you can get updates on merchandise or updates on episodes and all that good stuff, as well as maybe getting your name in some future credits. We're going to start doing shoutouts pretty soon that are going to be thrown into the mix. All you have to do is interact with our posts on Twitter and on Facebook to get your name shouted out. Or you can also do a little Twitter hashtag, which is hashtag SYTYCFanon, hashtag SYTYCFanon. We're going to start looking for those and shouting the people out in there. And you might end up as an NPC later on in the 20 on the Dice Throw special. So make sure that you are doing that. You can also send us fanfiction requests or fanfiction suggestions at any time on those socials. And you can also DM it to us if you happen to catch us on Discord or Twitter or any other social media platform that will allow you to communicate with us. I'm now going to take this moment to quickly shout out our sponsors today. Making a podcast is a lot of hard work, believe me, I know. However, this wouldn't have been possible without the help of Anchor. And if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Allow me to explain. It's free, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer, and Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership, which is how we're able to run these ads and still get a little bit of revenue back. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. So go download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. That's anchor.fm or the Anchor app to get started.
That's not why. I'm just gonna put it out. That's not my. Despite what I said, those are not the basis of why I choose these.
It's not the toes, I promise.
It's not, Mom. It's not what it looks like. I just like the vibe. It's wholesome.
Yeah, I can vibe with that.
I like the hair. I just like the design in Ultimate, especially.
Yeah, that's fair. Now I have a question. Who do you think, like, if somebody said like this like a character would be their like their husbando or waifu, that you like unfriend them instantly from everything? Lucas? I mean, he's a child, so I can see.
Yeah, any of the children or like any of the more animal ones.
Yeah, that's fair. I think personally for me, it's probably got to be Olimar.
Dude, what do you mean? Olimar's a Chad, dude.
Yeah, but you guys, here's the thing: if you choose Olimar, you're also choosing Alf.
No. Because think about this: Olimar canonically fucks, dude. He's got a wife and kids.
Well, it's good for him, but I'm saying I don't want to touch that. He's like the size of like a battery.
Dude, he definitely puts out good though.
Yeah, I bet he does.
I mean, he's gone all the time. His wife still stays around.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, okay, yeah, I can see a Chad. Mr. Game & Watch though.
Mr. Game & Watch? Oh man.
He's flatter than like he's like people be like, man.
He's gonna go on.
People could be like, man, that girl's chest flat. But then they look at Mr. Game & Watch and be like, damn, he all flat.
Ooh, yeah, he flat where it matters.
He does. But he's also got the octopus, so like, if you're into that. I think we covered all the bases here on the husbandos and waifus for Smash.
What about an all-time fighting game? husbando.
Oh, all-time fighting game husbando. Give me a second to search her name. Give me just 1 second.
Dang it, I can't say Joker again because I haven't made P5 Arena.
You can say what's his name from 4?
You Narukami.
Yeah, you. I mean, he's
he's good looking.
He's Johnny Young Bosch.
Yeah, he's Johnny Youngbot. He's got a bowl cut and that kind of.
Yeah. He rocks the bowl cut.
I've always been. I'm a bigger fan of Makoto's design from 3. I don't know. Maybe it's because I was edgy as a child, but the hair just really does it for me, you know?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I don't I booted up Persona 4. I was like, oh, he has a bowl cut. I don't know if I like that, but then I was playing the game and I was like, I dig it. It works on him and him only. Maybe it's because he's a fictional character and not a living human being.
As someone who's had blue hair, I'm a big fan of Makoto's hair.
Yeah, that's fair. I am still trying to find that other character because there's 2 characters that's like a split tie for me on like the fighting game character. I know. Actually, no, it's 3. I think. Is it 3?
3.
It might be 3. Give me a second.
Are we doing waifu and husbando for all time?
No. It's a tie for me. And
Are we doing both husbando and waifu, or are we just doing one?
I mean, you could do both. I only have one because I don't really have a husbando for fighting games. I'm not attached to them like that. I'm more attached to the waifus. I always play the cute girls.
That's fair.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I can't really think of any like husbandos from like fighting games.
Yeah, exactly.
Because usually they're like not husband material.
Yeah, they're definitely more of like a.
I'd say for female though, Chie for Persona 4 Arena Ultimax.
Chie in general, let's be real.
Yeah. Have you seen Tan Chie?
Yes, and it's a godsend.
Yeah, from Trauma Center.
Yeah.
She's a blessing, let's be real.
They gave her a huge rack for some reason.
Also, my answer is cheating, since Michael's thinking. My answer is cheating, but definitely Spider-Man, Marvel 3.
I was also thinking Spider-Man, but I was like, do I want to date Peter Parker?
Oh, that's a good point, actually, now that I think about it.
You'd be in consistent danger all the time.
Also, he's never there. I changed my answer. No, God, you convinced me. Jesus. Yeah, he's never there.
Well, we all love Peter Parker. Who doesn't love Peter Parker?
He's
but
got
like,
a lot of emotional baggage. He's got crazy ex problems. I mean, he
might become Doc Ock at any moment.
Yeah, I can see that.
You have to keep Dan Slott away from him as much as possible.
God, it's
let's
so.
Let's not riff on Dan Slott, because I could do that all night.
Who is that character that I'm thinking of?
Well,
what game?
Give me a second. I'm trying to find the. God, I'm trying to figure out what her name is. They're from Guilty Gear.
I don't know Guilty Gear, so I'm able to tell you.
Oh, there she is. I found it. I found her. It took me forever, but I found her. And of course, they don't have her name on the thing. God damn it. Just please just let me have the name so I can like look at it.
Send me the picture.
Oh my god, I'm trying to find her name. It's not Biken. It's God, this pisses me off so much. I'm trying to figure her name out.
I'm on my waifu list.
I found. Okay, I got it. Okay. So my I have 4 picks actually. No wait. No. Yeah, I got 4 picks. I'm sorry. So my first pick is they're all from Guilty Gear. My first pick is Mei. I like Mei. She is very cute. She can summon dolphins, and she has an anchor. The only thing I have to say that I don't like about her is that she's a charge character, but I'm willing to look past it. And this is her, by the way. I'm putting in chat so you know. All right. Next one.
Yeah, she's looking pretty cute. I like the. I'm always a big fan of the oversized shirts.
Yeah, exactly. Oversized shirts are good. Okay, actually, I don't have 4. I'm sorry. I lied. The other one is Jack O. Also from it's Jack O. Valentine from Guilty Gear again. She is like a tower defense character in an anime fighter, and she is hecka cute, dude. Tell me like this ain't cute. Oh wait, that's just May again. Sorry.
It's pretty cute.
I really like May.
that.
Yeah, there's Jacko. You can't go wrong with Jacko. Yeah, she cute.
The suit pant look.
Yeah, dude, the suit pants. And now for the last one, and that's Elfelt. That's her. She has giant swords.
That's a big katana.
Yeah, she has huge swords, and she floats. Like,
Oh man.
yeah, dude, she floats. She has big swords. You can't go wrong with Elfelt. But again, it's a cross up between those three. Those are my three waifus. If anyone has any fan fiction that they can give me that is with any of those characters, like a self-insert, I'd be more than happy to read it on here. Especially May. I love May. I think May's probably my go-to, actually. I think May's the waifu of the fighting games, then.
Alright. Sergio, you got anybody?
He did say Chie.
Well, I did say Chie before.
Yeah, so...
husbandos at all? Anything?
I can't...
Actually, I do have one husbando. I do have one husbando.
Chris Redfield is too busy wanting his sister to get some action, so I don't think I'm going to get anything out of Chris Redfield.
That's fair.
It definitely won't help continue the Redfield bloodline.
It was Resi 5 Chris Redfield too, so let's take that into consideration too. Like, he's too big.
That's fair.
Yeah, I don't know, because I don't want to date Dante. Virgil is boring. We just said problems with dating Spider-Man. None of the Mortal Kombat guys seem to strike me. Kung Lao might be cool.
What a striker! Police brutality coming up.
All right, I think for me, my husbando is probably Hyde from Eunice. He's a cool dude. He's got two hair colors and he's got a katana. Like
that's fair.
Yeah, I like him. He's pretty neat. Also, Eunice is a very good fighting game. Please go play Eunice. But if I had to pick a Marvel husbando, God, please don't kill me if I say Zero.
That's fine. That's allowed.
Other options, Doctor Doom.
Why Doom?
Because I want to be hit and missiled.
He's a fascist dictator.
But hit and missiles. I'm kidding.
Missile.
I'm kidding. I'd probably go with Zero then.
Berserker Barrage, baby. It's my pick. Wolverine.
Smiley face.
I guess Dante.
I think Dante's fair. That's fair. I like how we spent like an hour, we spent 30 minutes talking about Smash Brothers. Then we devolved into talking about waifus and husbandos.
Yeah.
And now we're here discussing fighting game waifus and husbandos.
Yeah,
Maybe we should host a waifu and husbando panel.
That would be. I mean, well, I don't know about that.
Dangerous territory.
Yeah. I think the only panel I've been to was your waifu is trash, and they just essentially what ended up happening was like they'd bring up an anime that's either really good or really bad or really unknown, and then they would mention like a character and explain why they're bad. The one I remember was that it went to My Hero Academia, and he goes, now some of you are gonna hate me for this, but I really, really think that if your husbando is Green Naruto, you can get out. And like I thought about it for a moment, I'm like, yeah, Izuku pretty much is Green Naruto. Like he's not wrong.
Nah, he's too nice to be Naruto. Naruto's a chaotic character.
Well, he's also got a fox in him.
A good boy.
That's fair.
Also,
oh yeah, he also.
I forgot to say my waifu choice.
Oh yeah, your waifu. Who's your waifu?
One word. Videl.
I can see that. Yeah.
He's in Fighters.
That counts. I like the whoa, and but.
Oh wait, Trunks. There we go. There's my husbando.
Who wouldn't be with Trunks? Let's be real. Trunks is a freaking snack. I love Trunks.
I don't know why, but I just like really gravitated towards Trunks. We were watching Dragon Ball and he
Trunks
showed
are
up and
cool.
he showed up and cut Frieza and I was like, oh dude, this is my new favorite character.
It's
Look.
awesome because you're like, man,
Yeah.
Frieza's really strong, and then Goku like beat him, but like he got the shit kicked out of him. Then Trunks just one shots him,
Yeah.
and then Trunks fights Goku, and Goku like stops the sword with his finger, and it's like Goku's finger is stronger than Frieza, and that's crazy.
Yeah, dude.
That's insane.
If you like, I just want to bring this up real quick because I mentioned it once, but I found a new tabletop RPG system called Masks, and I've been in a campaign. I've been posting some out of context photos on my Twitter. You might see them, but it's a lot of fun. And there like you have playbooks. It's like have you guys ever heard of Monster of the Week or is it something of the Apocalypse? I forget what it is. It's a 2d6 system.
No.
It's very much a narrative focused story. It's very like everything's narratively aligned. But there is a playbook called the Harbinger, who's literally just future Trunks. Like you come from the future, you get a cool futuristic weapon, and you are essentially just a time traveler, and it's so cool.
There's a system I've always wanted to try that I don't know how I found this. Because if you type in Persona tabletop, you get linked to this PDF from MIT. It's Persona 5th edition. It's based off the Fate system. It looks really cool. I'd like to do a campaign on it someday.
I have never done the Fate system. I've heard.
I think it rolls. I think it mostly goes on D6s, but I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I think so.
I'm pretty sure it does. There's a lot of cool tabletop RPG systems, honestly. But I mean, hopefully,
I don't think I've also heard anyone notice this, but it does. It is the first Google result that comes up. So I don't know if there's anyone out there.
I have seen it before because I was in a really, I don't want to say bad, but like it was a pretty rough tabletop RPG of Persona. Like the way that you got personas was completely random. Like one dude did the Persona 3 style. Whereas like someone else would do it Persona 5 style.
Bullet in your head, my favorite
dude.
Persona summon.
But it was like a 5th edition hack essentially. And it had its like everything was like all custom made and homebrewed, and it kind of probably wasn't tested, and it was really boring.
Yeah.
But I feel like Persona kind of lands in that range where like you really shouldn't be running it like with like a really crunchy system like Dungeons and Dragons. Because it's like combat is essential, but it's like Persona's a lot more well known for its story, you know?
Yeah, I do think it lends well to roleplay and in combat because you haven't been around for the campaign, but
sorry about that.
Now that I've brought in my characters from my Persona fanfiction. I've been using a Persona user class I found on the 5e D&D, and it's pretty cool.
You mean your Persona fanfiction based around my life?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, not to be confused with Lolo's Bizarre Adventure.
That was canceled.
Oh, it was?
It was.
It only got to it only got one season, so I can see that. But I mean, yeah. Anyways. I think
is that everything?
I think we've covered up everything. So tune in next week Friday for our first ever episode of Fanon Fridays, where we explore a Fanon wiki. I don't know what that will be, but
I know what it is. Because it's technically mine next week.
Yeah.
You know what we're doing. You know what we're doing.
Yeah, I know what we're doing.
You could probably find this. There is a shirt on Redbubble. You can find it. It's a unofficial Yumicon 2020 shirt that I was going to use. It's a 2020 shirt, but it's dark trunks. If that gives you any hints, please. My Redbubble is redbubble.com/thegravitystuck. But we're gonna come
in next week, and I'll explain why Kawakami is the best choice in Persona 5 with actual math.
Oh, I thought we were going to talk Fanon, but okay. And then after
It's
that,
gonna be 2.5 hours of me lecturing on why Kawakami is the best choice in Persona 5, and I will prove it with actual mathematics.
wait, did you say Kawakami as in teacher lady?
Yeah.
Yes.
Kawakami.
No, I'm not gonna argue with that. That's just the facts. Everyone be like, Futaba and or
Yeah, Futaba is best.
Futaba is good,
No!
but
This is what the
Kawakami's
math is for.
gooder.
This is what the math is for.
Yeah, dude.
I hope that picked up on my mic of me punching my leg.
You did not, but I think I picked it up a little bit.
I think I heard it.
I heard it. Anyways, yeah, follow us on the Twitters, and also make sure that whenever this comes up, you subscribe on iTunes and whatever, because that helps us get more viewers. Don't forget to rate us if you can. But yeah,
Share.
yeah, like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you next week, where we will also discuss why Kawakami is the best choice and Futaba is second best choice. All right.
No, for Makoto.
Oh,
That's it.
okay.
That's where it ends.
Okay.